welcome to Firestorm Gaming, and thanks for joining us. So we're looking at a bunch of Warmachine and board games from the Welsh Masters 2022. If you watched it live on Twitch, either on my stream or on Firestorm Games, it was a bit loud in the venue, and I had certainly minimal gear setup. So what I wanted to do is go back, look at some of the footage, and see what we've got. And very nicely, Rob at Firestorm Games has agreed I can use the recorded footage, so that's what we're doing. So we're going to go through a sped up version of the different games, and I'm going to commentate on the top, and hopefully give you something that's a little bit better to watch, a little more condensed at the same time, rather than watching 40 hours of very loud gaming rooms. So that's what we're doing, and that's the aim for this little series. So it'll be all the Welsh Masters games. I'll do them in bits as I get them, and they'll just be added to a new playlist. If you're watching generally on Twitch or on YouTube, I'd really appreciate if you like, subscribe, follow, those sort of things that help the channel. You can subscribe on Twitch using your Amazon Prime subscription if you want to, or you can just pay and get rid of the ads. Other ways to support the channel, if you look at the details in the notes, you'll find our affiliate link for Wayland Games, who are the distributor for Privateer Press in the UK. So probably like the best place to get anything Privateer Press related. You'll get a whole host of other things from any war games pretty much, and they're rather cheap. So it won't be cheaper for you to buy, but it will give me a little bit of a kickback, which helps me put some new toys on the table, in theory, occasionally. We'll get to it if it ever happens. But yeah, so thanks again to Firestorm Games for the footage. Thanks for the people that have played, and I will start looking at the game. So first up, round one, we've got Stu Cargill from England Bulldogs, so England's new team. He's playing Cygnar, and he's playing Haley 3. His off list was Siege 1, but yeah, we're not super interested. Siege 1 with a bunch of defenders, very gunline, siege intensive, and playing against Max Basuini from down south, playing Legion of Everblight. He's dropped Mekanolyth, Lilith 4. The off list was an Animag, so very much an Animag, just standard brick, Blightbringer, and Chosen. So I'll go through the actual lists that were dropped. Max is going first. So he's playing Mekanolyth with a Bolt Thrower, Ravagore, Azrael, Mekanoshredder, and a Seraph. He's got Yssylla, Hermit of Hengehold, a Blight Archon with Typhon on him. Craelix, 2 Spell Martyrs for the ever-important Mortalities. Forsaken, a unit of Farrow Valkyries, and a Blighted Niscather crew, which I have, I think, never seen on the table. So, super cool. Bit of flex. The Lilith lists that are out in the wild are all slightly different, at least. I've never seen the same twice so far. I've seen Virtues, I've seen lots more Ravagores, I've seen Archers, but all slightly tweaked. Children of Dragon definitely seems like to be the theme of choice for them, though, and that's what this is in. So like I said, he's up against Stu, who's playing Major Prime Victoria Haley, or Haley 3, who has Thorn and the Centurion. That's the battle group, that's it. And then Lieutenant Gwen Keller, Stormblade Captain, Journeyman Warcaster with a Charger, Sir Dreyfus the Storm Knight, Grand Master Gabriel Throne, Arlen Strangeways, a single Stormsmith Stormcaller, and then 2 max units of Storm Lancers and a max unit of Silverline Storm Guard. And as you guess, it's in Storm Division. So this is all about the Storm Boys, the Lightning Generator Infantry, which is cool. Haley 3 obviously is just scary. She's always got this assassination potential, and she's got this ridiculous ability to pump numbers, basically. It helps with Gwen as well. She brings Force Barrier for the models, so it should be interesting to watch. I had a little nose through it earlier when I did a test stream, but yeah, hope you enjoy. If you do, just like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, and we'll get there. So on with the game. So hopefully you should be hearing me fine and not the audio. So Max has already gone up the table So we just joined them at the start of Stew's first turn. So as you can see, there's like a line of Legion models almost to the some of the first Legion models into the circle zone. The big circle inside the zone, the big grey circle, is a squall. So there was an event pack as part of the event. Any completely circular clouds were squalls, particularly, and like irregular shaped ones were just clouds. And obviously we've got a burning earth in the zone on the right, a building on the left, and then on Stu's side of the table he's got a trench and obstruction, and very, very nice for him. And then on the top end of the table we've got I think that's an acid pool on the left above the left zone, and I think there's a wall above the right zone as well, so a good bit of cover on the table, so which I'm sure Stu is going to be appreciative of, because there's definitely some nasty threats of guns from the Lilith list. It's missing a Naga, which is going to be potentially important here, because obviously there's no Wraithbane to ignore temporal flux and the buff the Haley can do. So we're seeing just running up here with Stu on his first turn. We've got the Silverline Storm Guard who've just gone into the central zone, just towing in a few of them, and a couple behind. The middle unit of Storm Lancers have got Arcane Ward, I think, off the Journeyman Warcaster, and you put the Charger in the trench. Journeyman Warcaster staying quite far back. And obviously he's spread out. So these Storm Lancers have gone pretty hard in. I'm a little surprised that he hasn't used them to block other things. So he could have put the Storm Lancers base to base, and then had Gwen behind, giving them the +2 defense against shooting, and with one of the Haleys when she pops them out, having Flux behind them, and just basically had a line of sight blocking wall where he's going to have to chew through an arcane shielded unit of Storm Lancers first, but he hasn't. He's spaced out a bit. We'll see how that works out for him, right? But he's very much gone way up the table, and went to Max's second turn. So he's proxying out who's going where. So this is going to be it's a small base going in. So let's have a look. This could be Lilith herself, I think. It's moving. So there's a slipstream on the. Oh, sorry, that'll be the apparition on the Seraph. So this one that's just next to the red proxy in the circle zone on the right is a Seraph. The kind of ready base is Typhon. The blue one is an Archon conversion. It's like a spider Archon. It's kind of cool. Very much leaning into the Cthulhu vibe that Legion sometimes has. And then I think the other large base at the top end of the circle zone is Azrael. And then I think the white model directly to his left, I think it's Craelix. So Max just having a look, looking at distances, talking about stats. Obviously, with Gwen there, we've got force barrier on most of the front models. So between force barrier and temporal flux, there's a very reasonable number of defense stats. So we'll see what work you can get out of them, basically. So a little flick between the table views. So as you can see, Stu's gone up. He's pushed pretty far, but he's got like the advantage here of things like the massive bit of terrain on his side. These two bits of cover are just gold for him to hide Haley behind, and anything important he doesn't want to get potentially sniped out, because obviously Lilith is just going to reach out and touch him otherwise. It's a real credible threat every turn, and that squall in the middle is going to be really good for Max, not so good for Stu. I think Max has basically got almost full Battlegroup sort of guns. I think Craelix is the only like eyeless side model, so that squall's going to be slowing him down not at all, whereas it's going to be blocking charge lanes and blocking like what little guns that the Stu's brought outside of Haley itself. So we'll see how things going. So I think this is. I think this might have been. Is this Lilith has gone up herself in its mortality? These guys. Trying to spot the model. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a. So shots are going in. So this is a Ravagore shot going in. So it might be a broadside shot if that's Lilith that's moved up. So we're looking. I know. I've talked to Max about the game, and I think they'd not thought about it, but Gwen's force barrier aura didn't quite extend to these furthest forward Stormguard. But they missed out during the game, or certainly at this stage of the game. But it is what it is. With between force barrier and also then the blast resistance, the extra +4 armor, it's a lot harder to remove them. But these are Scathers going down, which basically just death to the Stormguard. They can't go into them. So the lances, the cavalry can be fine. They're just going to take a point of damage, and it's not a cloud, but it'll add up, and it'll add up to some positioning problems potentially if Max puts him down in awkward spots. You can double him up, and if he's weakening the cavalry before they go in, if he's leaving them on a couple of boxes, then potentially they are going to just die if they have to go through them. So this Craelix on the left here has gone up and is putting shots in. Craelix just going wild with the poison shots, I imagine here. So we're starting to. Well, it might be the burst one actually. We'll find out in a minute. But let's have a look at the top down and see how it's panning out. So just talking about stats on stuff as they're going in, checking what Max is needed to hit, what he's needed to break the armor and stuff, and off start to go more and more of the Stormguard. So these are Silverline Stormguard, so they're not the rank and file, not the bog standard guys, but it's pretty sad when Max has got like such a volume of quality shots to be able to put into them. I think this is going to end up being most of the unit gone just after the first turn of shooting, which seems a little bit rough on Steel as a start. We're going in for some more shots. And again, off goes the first. Is that the first? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's the first of the Storm Lancers. Or the second of the Storm Lancers gone. All on that middle unit. So we're looking at the next big shots going in. So this is another. I think this is another Skater going in. Yeah. So did he have two? Just looking back at the list. He's just got the one Ravagore. But obviously he does have the option of doing the cheekiness of Lilith gets to shoot the Ravagore, and then the Ravagore gets to shoot itself. So there's two Skaters can go out each turn. Lilith just needs to just make sure she stays safe, basically, which isn't super easy with the Haley 3 list. But Haley's got to be far enough back, I think, that she can probably quite easily bully Haley out. One of the problems that the Max might end up experiencing is there's no Wraithbane, so with the incorporeal echoes are going to be real trouble to remove. There's not a lot of magic attacks in the list. So this is the Archon going forward, just in the zone, spraying down one of the Storm Lancers. I think he's just survived that one. And Typhon goes behind the cloud. I'm not really sure what the objectives are. I should have checked the chaps, but I'll give you a spoiler. They don't really have a great deal of impact. You can see Steve's sort of skewed towards the left, and kind of rotated slightly, sort of clockwise. Both players. So those objectives really aren't going to be much use for even for when they stay on the table. So let's flip over and have a little look at the side of the equipment. So we're on to Stu's turn. So this is turn 2. So this is the scoring turn. Stu's gone second. We can see that there's a good few models in the right hand zones. A Spell Martyr, an Archon. I think there might be a Seraph towing the zone. There might be another beast behind it as well. The Bolt Thrower might be in there. So the right hand zone is definitely not going to be an easy win for Stu. I'm not sure he's got like the volume to get through much there, and reclaim that zone. But on the left, like that objective is just bang to rights. That objective is his to take, and it's the zone. So you just need to run. Run. So look, I'm assuming Thorn can just get to that zone. I think if you look just beyond, in the centre, if I switch screens, so just below the bottom Cygnar is the Centurion. I think to the left where the objective is, the obstacle, like the barrels. I think just in front of that is Thorn. So Thorn's got an easy path to go and claim that zone, destroy the objective, and go 2 up on his turn 2. I don't think there's any way that Stu clears anything else yet. And I think Max might have pre-measured the position of Azrael and Typhon, so they're within 4 of the flag in the central zone. I'm not certain, but we'll see as the turn sort of progresses. That'll become pretty obvious if Stu starts measuring. So let's have a look at those. We're still very much in the early part of Stu's tenure, where he's just trying to work out exactly how far he's going to go with whom. So this middle unit of Stormguard are down to, I think, 2. So they're looking pretty sad. So they're not going to be able to get a great deal of work done. They're both in a Cygnar, so they won't take any damage as long as they don't stop there, which is easily done. So he's going to be looking at, I imagine, either charging the stuff on the left, like where Craelix is, the white base model just outside the circle zone, if he's got the distance, or just running to engage and just making them just making Max have to deal with it basically, and think about his activations in the next turn. But meanwhile on the right, we got the 2 lances that can potentially get into the Archon and the Ravagore. Be interesting to see how much work he gets done, because the rest of that unit are going to basically have to come the other side of or go into the squall and try and get some work done. So where I'm not sure who this model is. This is the cavalry. So Stu's just working out exactly where Gabriel Throne can get to. I think was that measurement. So in go the Silverline Stormguard with the help of Desperate Pace. So he's got just about enough room to get onto Azrael. So the only 2 Stormguard remaining, I think. Was there 3? There might be 3. There we go. And there's 4. Okay, so 3 looks like they're onto Azrael, 1 onto Craelix, I think. Okay, so I've underestimated how much damage was done, or I overestimated how much damage was done by Max to that unit. There's a good few of them left, but that's just like one juicy spray with Typhon away from just removing them. So we're going to do some damage on the way in here. So Azrael's taken like a good little chunk off one of his, probably off his 3 there. Or his 4 actually. Yeah, we're halfway through with the between the aspects. In goes, and I didn't catch what that was. There's something behind the building. One of the SWAT ones. I guess that'll be the Stormcaller. Just going to be in that zone and think about doing something more useful next turn. So there's a bit of a mistake thing there, but looks of it with allocation focus and Max's steal just amicably sorted out straight away. One of the things about the event at Welsh Masters, like I didn't see any problem games. It was like fantastic. Like everyone's super excited to be back and playing the game. There's nearly like 100 players playing a single event, and yeah, it was just like really good vibe there, which is super cool. So Stu's such a little, I think, working out exactly where the charger can get to do some softening up shots. So he's shooting into the Ravagore, the one with the yellowy, or I guess the bone carapace just on the edge of the circle zone. Actually, just doing some chip damage, trying to soften it up before the Lance's charge, I'm guessing. So, getting a good chunk off it, maybe as much as like a third of its boxes, maybe just under. And he'll go in the proxy bases going in to work out exactly where these Lancers are going. I don't think they're going to have enough room to quite get far enough to smash him with an impact attack. This might be just the charges, but yeah, they're going to just have to go through the Scathers, just lump it. So they're all going in, and the idea here is going to be to try and remove one of the Ravagores that's been battered up a bit. Doing charges on the other side. We've got the unit leader just on the friendly side of the squall to keep command, and in go the attacks into the Ravagore. So let's have a little look. See how it's faring. So they're on the proxy bases, the wooden proxy bases, not the objective, which is also a wooden large base, which is from, I think, Monstrous Makings, which is one of the Midland guys has been doing widgets and tools and stuff, and there's been a few giveaways at various events at Asgard Games, which has been cool. So with softening up from the charger, two Stormlancers take out the Ravagore. That's a pretty big deal. Some obviously quality shots that have gone off Max's potential straight away, and then we got a run here. So Thorn's now safely stuck in the zone. 4 charges into the objective. Yeah, I think a little bit overkill. Like he could have maybe gone a bit deeper into the zone. With at least 2 of them, I thought, but at the same time, they're pretty safe from any retaliation. So that this objective is just going to be absolute toast. And down it goes, yeah, with spare. So the Stormlancer's got a repo here, but what I'd be looking at would be, if you look at like the top of the zone, right, the Stormlancers there could be just blocking it. So if they just repoed into base to base with each other, they could basically just deny any chance of Max getting something into the zone without destroying one of them. Yeah, there's a spell Martyr just the other side. If I flip the camera, just the other side of the that green blob, which is an acid pool, there's a spell Martyr, and he's ripe to run into that zone and just contest it. Whereas if Steven just body blocked him, you could have just taken that off the table. So Steve's going to go up 2-0 this turn. But he could also have been making it really tricky for Max to contest that zone on his own turn, which would have been really cool. Obviously, you don't always see these while you're playing. but it's hopefully good to look back at and go, all right, okay, yeah, I can think about that. Use your bodies where you're already forming the second line to go in after he's cleared out the first unit and the Storm Guard. You've got them in reserve, but you can still make more out of them just by good placement. So Stu passes the turn. So it's back over to Max. So this is 2-0. There's obviously 2 Storm Lancers in the right zone and an objective, but there's enough to, I think, to quite easily deal with them. We've just seen the Seraphs apparated backwards, so it's no longer engaged. We've got basically two dudes to remove and an objective, and that's scoring. It's his, and as we've said, it's easy for him to run the Spell Martyr, or I guess the Spell Martyr is the easy option, into the left zone to pause Stu's scenario clock and get its parity, so that there should be 2-0 at the end of the turn. So the question is, does Max have enough firepower or enough tax to clear the central zone? So there's a lot of Storm Guard sort of bundled up on his end of the circle. That could just be a couple of sprays from Typhon, gets rid of the majority of them. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. The long measurement we're seeing on the table, though, is Lilith not aiming, but walking up and taking a shot into the Journeyman. So with the Journeyman, I think we've just so Lilith rolls, hits, gets a 4-4, kills the Journeyman even through the focus camp. So he's dead, which means Arcane Shield is gone. So it's no longer on the Storm Lancers, and the Charger in the trench on the right is inert. So Haley's going to have to go way out of the way into the danger zone to try to reactivate it, or just write her off for the rest of the game, which is probably going to happen. And this is it's a really good play, definitely a really good play. So there's the Seraph's gone into combat with these Lancers. I think he's just trying to make sure that he gets work out of the Seraph, because the guns aren't necessarily going to be super useful with Flux on the table. It's not accurate enough and punching hard enough, really. But in melee, it could just save the activations on the right. So it kills one. The Archon goes in, and it's basically going to finish off the other one and the objective. And if you can see, there's currently no beasts in the zone. So this is so the Archon is buying, hitting on the objective. Objective's about to go down, and the objective isn't going. The Storm Lance goes down, and the Archon Crimson Ballets to get out. And here walks the. This is the bolt thrower walking forward, coming in, shooting up the objective. That's gone. I'm trying to work out what the large base. That's the Scather Crew. The Scather Crew went in first, weakened it up, and then the bolt thrower now is towing the zone, finishes it off. So there's 2 points there for Max. So let's have a little look. So this middle area is going to be like the proving ground of this turn. So there's a lot of models there that are contesting the zone, contesting the flag. But if Max gets enough work done here, he could potentially score 4-2. But he's going to have to hold back something to run into the zone. And obviously, he doesn't want to be Lilith for sure. But he's got a couple of options. Maybe there's Hermit, Yssylla, or the Forsaken are probably good options to run in just to cap the flag if you can clear out enough models. We'll see shortly. One of the big things is to make sure that he doesn't really want to be going into the squall, not because of the range sort of deficit from it on range weapons, but just he doesn't want to give stuff charge options. His beasts can sit behind the squall and fire their heart away, whereas Stu has just got to lump it. He's just got to run in or walk in if there's no line of sight. But as soon as he toes in, he then has a charge option. So I think Max needs to be due to just be mindful of that. I know he does make a few errors here, I think, in what he has. But at the same time, there's not... because a lot of the Stormlancers are now on the left flank, it's going to be really hard to avoid that anyway. So Typhon's going forward and is going ham with the sprays. So he's clearing out these Storm Guard and the Lancers at the same time. Typhon's got Dragon's Blood on from the Archon, so he's pretty beefy. I don't think he's got excessive healing, so he's using the Fury to get work done rather than to protect him a little bit more, which might be a mistake. So Max considering going in there, but very much is, or it might be just working out angles. But we got first shot takes out from, this is Azrael shots. The first one takes out the Stormlance in the middle by the flag. Second one slams the Centurion out of the zone. So he's not killing the Centurion. I'm assuming he can't be charged because Centurions are good at that. But the rest of the game is very different. So there's now just a couple of models that are in this central zone, but yeah, not enough, not quite enough to finish them off. So as Max passes turn, so we're now at 2-all onto Stu's third turn. So he's gonna have a look. Obviously, he's got the Centurion just outside the zone, so that's easily can get in and contest and be a pain in the arse to remove. But on that right side, he's basically got nothing really he can throw into it. That zone's just going to be Max's for the future. But likewise, Steve's got the left zone, so that might make a difference. The fight is all going to be in the middle, and at the end of the next turn or two, we'll see basically who's got no army left, and that'll kind of determine who wins this game. I think this is going to just be a pure bloodbath in that central zone. So Stu's just checking how injured the beasts are currently. He's taken, I think Azrael taken like a third of his boxes down, so he's definitely been beaten up a bit by the Storm Guards. Just drinking my invisible drink if you're watching. Such is the beauty of green screen, right? So Stu's starting to work out exactly where he wants and what he wants to get out of the turn. Lilith's safe pretty much behind the army, behind the squall. It's going to be difficult for Stu to get much into her, I imagine, if anything. Definitely wants to be Max definitely needs to be careful on his future turns of not parking something large in front of her to block her off from being shot or charged, and then Baby Haley just coming forward and force hammering whatever it is over the top of her and knocking it down, and then making it real easy to finish off. That's definitely the danger thing you need to worry about for sure. Is being knocked over by one of your own guys flying at the top of you, crushing you into the floor, and then the Haley's just putting in a good amount of shots, or potentially Baby Haley charging you, which is scary. But Stu's starting to work out exactly where he's going where. So he's going to have to get a good bit of work done. So we've got the Seraph, Typhon, and Azrael all in the central zone. I think that's the only pieces. I think the other two models there might be the Storm Guard. Is that two surviving Storm Guard next to Azrael potentially? It's really hard to see from the angles we've got. I'll flip onto the screen and it doesn't really help at all. There's too many blobs and wings in the way to tell you exactly what's where. But so I'm trying to work out exactly where it's going. Who's going where? I think this is Baby Haley who's going forward and is just trying to get rid of something that's blocking the zone. So I'm not sure if she's trying to get rid of the Spell Martyr at the edge of the rectangle zone, or something just in front of Azrael. He was bobbing and weaving like a like a pro boxer as he's working out where exactly he's going where. Just working out there, just checking who needs to get close enough to contest, and what can get in. So in goes the Centurion. So Centurion's charging Typhon. So he's hitting, getting some good damage in. Second attack. There's another big chunk, like eight on 2 dice, even through Dragon's Blood. So Typhon's looking pretty battered up. So he is excessive healing. So he's got excessive healing up, and he's got Dragon's Blood. So he's doing some work though, for sure. Is that on the right? Who is that on the right? I'm not sure if that's one of Stu's models I missed going in on the right side, but there's that might be the Seraph. Yeah, I think that's the Seraph. So let's move it up with that's Gabriel Throne. Just moves up into the middle a bit. I'm not sure if he's giving tough to the Stormlancers or something. So these Stormlancers have got the annoying Spell Martyr in the way, so I think Stu's just trying to work out how to remove him easily. Worst comes to the worst, he can just charge through him by going straight up with one of the bottom Stormlancers and clipping him to do an impact attack on the way towards the top. And then, obviously, if that goes wrong, then he's just blocked his charge range. It's real bad. But he goes up and he moves him. And the Stormlancers are going in now to try and finish off Typhon and maybe do some more damage to Azrael. So we saw that it was basically a Charger and 2 Stormlancers killed the Ravagore. And we've seen that Typhon's already probably taken 2/3 of his boxes down, and Azrael a third. So this could be real strong move for Stu, dice permitting. So he's putting in that 3 Stormlancers. So 3 Stormlancers, I'm assuming 2 just into Typhon, 1 to Azrael. And he's sort of got 1 coming into I presume the white models are the Valkyries. And off goes Typhon with the first couple of attacks. Another big chunk in here, and he's obviously still got a little bit of a third round. So Dreyfus of the Storm Knight walks in, jumps, because of course, jumps and kills Azrael. Okay, so this is a big turn for Stu. This is suddenly turned into a real good pushback. So no scoring in the centre, but each player is scoring another one. So we're up to 3 all, and into Max's 4th turn. So he's still got the right zone, which you have easily. And you can maybe get something into the left zone this turn. He just needs to kill a Stormlance and get something in to go and contest. But has he got now the volume of attacks? Can he punch hard enough to kill a Centurion and the rest of the stuff? So we've got a Blight Burst going on. So this Y model is this Forsaken. So it's gone into the edge of the zone. Oh, I thought that was what he was measuring. I thought he was measuring applied bits. Like it's pretty high hopes for a power 8 to take down some Storm Lancers, but so we've got. I think this is Lilith herself getting work done. She needs to really make the most of things. We've got the potential for the bolt thrower can just stay where it is and just plink off someone. But the best he's going to get is just some damage on the Centurion and try and sort of stall it. But he definitely needs to get rid of the Storm Lancers this turn. So checking on exactly what's going off. Yep, so off goes another one of the Lancers. So there's just 2 Lancers left in this central area. 1 Lance left. Melting through them. We've got like an Archon. Like the Archon could potentially just like tag team with the Bolt Thrower to try and get the Centurion out of the zone. But I think it'd be tricky. So yeah, so the first shot from the Bolt Thrower knocks him backwards. If he had a second one from broadside, and there wasn't a model behind, he could have been hitting him out of the zone. At which point he could be looking at scoring centrally. So in comes the Seraph, does some damage. So he hasn't used his imprint, so he can be charged. In goes the Archon next. So he's really trying to remove this big threat. Like if he can't get rid of the Centurion, he's going to be in a real bad spot. But yeah, Centurion is pretty tanky. It's got a good amount of boxes. Let's see how dice are going. I think that was one of the solos getting killed by the assault spray. And you can't really see like the damage boxes. Stu's phone's too bright. It's hard to gauge how much, if there's any damage on the Centurion or if like tons. So he's armor 19 with unyielding with a shield. He's definitely struggling. So Max is just working out the last things he's got up the top of the zone to be able to activate. So this is a bit of damage to the lance. That's the last of the Storm Lances off. I think that's Thorn. Yeah, that's definitely Thorn in the left zone. That's the medium base. So there's a lot of stuff gone off the table. It's absolute bloodbath in the middle of the game. We're going down with I think this is a Thags AoE. Yeah, so we're ending Max's 4th turn, so he goes 4-3 up, and then over to Stu. So Stu's 4th turn, and he's measuring out where Lilith is. I think there. He's got a big pile of dice out, and he's measured where Lilith is. This could be, so that could be feet turn, but I think that's baby Haley. I think is in the left hand zone. I think just behind the Centurion is Grandma Haley. You can see from if you look at like the billowing cloak, just in the top or the left zone. If I swap zones, the left zone is baby Haley, and then Haley herself is just behind the barrels, like staying as safe as possible. But this could be a turn where he just goes in and tries to clear up or to kill Lilith. It's a lot of measuring going on here. Some proxying, some sticks coming out. Sticks, if I'm kind of newer to the world of widgets and sticks, definitely give them a look. It makes the game so much cleaner, so much easier, and so much faster as well. Just going, yeah, that is 100% in. There's no wavering. It's a definite in or definite out immediately, rather than holding an angle and going, oh, is this just above your base? You can't really tell with the tape measure all the time. So yeah, I'm a fan of the widgets. Fan or victim, depending on your point of view. But yeah, I think they're a great addition to the game. So Stu's just working out where's going where. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be the turn that breaks it for Max or for Stu. I think this is this turn. Not Max's next turn. This turn is what will determine who wins this game, I think, here. It's if Stu gets enough done, he just takes home the game or kills Lilith. If he doesn't, then then it stalls, and Lilith just got such horrendous personal threat that she can just start just rinsing anything that's left. So we're looking at allocations on the table. We're starting Stu's actual turn of activations, his activation phase. So Thorn's running in to the zone. Okay, so Thorn's abandoning the left zone. So you could be putting Haley yourself in to score. But Thorn's going in just to be the Arc Node, maybe. Let's change view. That's the Storm Knight captain that's running to the zone. So we've got Centurion. Let's go to town here. Load up our focus. So Centurion kills the Blight Archon. So there's just a Seraph there in front of him. So this is the Haley's activating. Yep, so the Haley's are activating. So Grandma Haley has walked up. I think I'm not sure if she's pre-measured that to Lilith. So some shots going in here and missing all over the place. And this is Gabriel Throne going way up there. And Dreyfus coming in. Does Dreyfus have flank? Oh man. So Dreyfus comes up, jumps in, leaps to action, and takes out Lilith. Like she sat there pretty far back, but couldn't quite shoot her enough, I think. Yeah. So a super grindy fest, and the guys have a good cracking start to the event. Absolute kudos to them. So Stu takes home the first scalp of the stream, killing Lilith 4 with Sir Dreyfus, the Storm Knight. Well done. So cool. So if you've enjoyed, thank you very much for watching. This is the first of the sped up battle reports I've done. So hopefully it's been enjoyable to watch. Don't forget you can like, subscribe, follow, feed the social media gods, and tell your friends. Use our affiliate link and check out the other streams and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And this is the first of I think 14, 15 games from the weekend. So they'll go up as they go up. Give me some time. So thanks for joining us. Good night.